How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video of the course. I'm gonna be sort of breaking down market phases. It is something I feel, many of our members already know about it, but something to reinforce what market structure actually looks like and what it means and how you can trade it. So essentially, I've just drawn a simple sort of bullish market structure, bullish order flow, and I've marked up a pullback and a continuation, which is just this move and this move down. So what is the significance of a continuation and a pullback? Now, when you have a continuation, if in terms of a bullish order flow, most of the time you would be looking for your longs here, right? Because you're continuing and following the market up. And the most relevant point to have your long, your TP target is the previous swing high. When you have a pullback, you sort of look at the market and go, okay, yeah, we're pulling back to a certain point in the market, which might be a demand zone or some other point in the market, right? So when you're in a pullback phase, the thing you should be looking for, I'm going to be talking in terms of a bullish order flow, just so I make it clear. When you're in a bullish order flow and you are currently in a pullback, you should be looking for shorts. Don't try and go against it because we're currently pulling back. So we're pulling back down and forming and completing the bullish order flow structure. So the purpose of this video is to give you guys an insight as to why sometimes when we have bullish order flow, there are short trades taken by me or Chris or even Alex or even any other members. It is important to know that when you're in a pullback, that the market's not gonna just go, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna push up. It's not gonna go like, it's not gonna fly up, because that's not how a structure is formed, right? And sure, sometimes you see that happening, but a lot of times you just see something like this, right? The pullback is full, the pullback is complete. It is not gonna just do what I showed previously every single time. So when you're in a pullback phase, you should try and look for shorts to a certain degree, maybe a swing low, or the next demand zone where price could react off of to form a continuation phase. That's something I'm trying to get across, is try and understand what phase we're in. Are we in a continuation phase? Are we in a pullback phase? What phase we're in, right? The other phase you should also understand is a basically a consolidation phase. Don't mind the turbo drawing, but you basically see price consolidate, right? Or we call it range as well, where we're sort of within, typically it looks like this. You haven't broken the high, you haven't broken the low, you're just sitting in this range, right? And you haven't done anything, right? The market's just going like this. It's not doing anything and it's just stuck there. Now, 9 out of 10 times you'll see people trying to trade this. And one of my biggest tips is when you're in a range like this, don't try and trade it, because it's just gonna go like this. Chances are it takes you out, goes up, takes you out again, goes out. It just keeps doing that. It doesn't have any bias yet because it's stuck in this range. When you get a break of the range's high or the low, that's when you should go, okay, now we've broken the range. We've also collected so much liquidity that the chances of price impulsively moving up or down is much higher. So for me to take this trade, it makes more sense because we've broken out of a range. We're actually showing what bias we're currently in, right? So let's say we're ranging like this and we just break to the downside. Okay, cool. Now we're bearish in this instance and we just continue and look for a trade here, right? So these are the three main phases that I want to get across, is try and understand what phase we're in. Are we in a continuation phase? Are we in a pullback phase? Or are we in a consolidation phase? Right, there are a lot of fancy names for this. These are just terms I pretty much like and I use a lot. Is consolidation phase, continuation phase, and a pullback phase. Understanding what phase we're in will give you a better idea of when to take trades and when to avoid them. The biggest thing in trading is you need to know when to trade and when to not trade. And sometimes people don't know when they should trade and when they shouldn't, right? Maybe you've got a major news release and you're looking to take a long, but your stop loss is so tiny that chances of you getting taken out is much higher, right? Should you take the trade? Probably not. Wait for the news release to come out and then look for a trade. Would you want to risk 1% and not even risk, probably lose that 1%, maybe getting or staying in the trade and possibly getting 10%? I wouldn't, because that's not really a calculated risk, is it? If it's part of your risk appetite and you're fine with it, 100% take it. But 9 out of 10 times you see your stop loss getting wicked out and price pushes your way. And that is very frustrating, which is one of the reasons why we avoid news releases. That's something I don't really trade. A lot of people might say, oh, news releases are aligned with smart money concepts. But with smart money concepts being so popular now, the amount of people entering at that point and the amount of liquidity just stuck there is immense. And no, SMC is not going to become something that doesn't work. It's going to continue working because we are following the market's footprints, or, the BFIs or whatever you want to call them. I'd just say we're following the footprints of what works already. So yeah, guys, remember what phase we're in. Look at your charts, start marking stuff up. You'll start noticing that I have been marking my pullbacks with this rectangular tool here. If you guys want to know what it's called, it's basically called a rotated rectangle. It just works like this, and then you mark it up. So try marking your charts up, understand what phase we're in, and when you know what phase we're in, it will give you a great indication and idea of what trades you should take and what trades you should not take. So that will be all for this video. It's a very short video, but I'm getting straight to the point because there's only so much I can explain, but the rest of this comes to you because you need to work on your charts and look at what phase we're in, and also observe what happens when we're in certain phases, what trades work out the best. That's where you will find that, okay, yeah, in a pullback phase, sometimes longs are not just going to work because you're really pulling back, so it's going to push further down. And it usually reacts off maybe a decisional demand zone, an extreme demand zone. Things like that will help you in your trading, and I highly recommend you do it. Backtesting is insanely important, and I cannot emphasize that. If you guys are struggling with trading, or you may not be might not find consistency, backtest. We have a specific backtesting channel in the server, and I highly recommend everyone use it because it really helps you, and it allows us as mentors to give you feedback on whether you're going on the right way, or you're basically misunderstanding things. So that will be all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you sort of got some value from this video, and I will catch you in the next